Macron slammed anti-vaccination protesters. President Emmanuel Macron of France has intensified his criticism of radical anti-vaccine protesters who resist his push to increase vaccination rates across the country. A few tens of thousands of people have gone insane to the point where they believe we live in a dictatorship, Macron said. Anti-vaccine activists argue that government policies requiring almost universal vaccination to start a normal life are oppressive. Additionally, the French president accused several politicians, whom he did not name, of being too lenient toward the movement. Macron's remarks follow a third consecutive weekend of protests in major French cities against the government's plan to impose a vaccine passport that would allow people to access restaurants, museums, and trains. According to local media, reporters covering the protests have been physically beaten by anti-vaccine protesters, who have even stormed vaccination sites. Elabe published a poll on Wednesday showing that only 37 of those surveyed backed the protests. Contextually, between 55 and 63 of respondents indicated that they had no objection to presenting a health passport. The passport, dubbed a health pass, contains information about coronavirus testing results and vaccination status. Additionally, the government desires self-isolation for those who test positive, and mandatory vaccination for healthcare personnel and sanctions against those who refuse to be vaccinated. Macron will end free tests for those who wish to travel or attend events without receiving shots in the fall. Additionally, the Elabe poll conducted for Les Echos newspaper and Radio Classique found that 61 of respondents supported mandatory vaccination, unchanged from a month ago. According to government statistics, 2/3 of French adults are fully vaccinated. Opponents of the health pass argue that the government's measures violate their liberties and that vaccines have failed to prevent a recent spike in infections caused by the more contagious Delta coronavirus variant. On Tuesday, France reported 26,829 new daily cases, roughly 5,000 more than the 7-day average but still well below the year's peak of 84,999 cases in early April. Over the last 7 days, there have been an average of 44 COVID-related deaths per day. The vaccination boom means that those who are vaccinated have a lower risk of developing serious symptoms if they become infected.